Traders, and welcome to another video review. Today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Let's find out what do we have in the economic calendar for today. Overnight data were in form of the REX house price balance from the UK. It's exactly at the same level that last time, -5%. Disappoints the forecast of -2%. Building approvals in Australia at the level at the forecasted level 1.9%, which is improvement from -0.9%. Chinese data, export and imports beats the expectations, and trade balance shrinks to $72.35 billion. ECB Macau will give a speech at 5 to 10. Then we have a bunch of data from the Bank of England. Bank of England interest rate decision is scheduled for release at 1 p.m. and the market participants expect the Bank of England to hold the rate at the level of 5.25%. Together with the interest rate decision, Bank of England will release MPC vote cut, vote hike and MPC vote unchanged data together with the MPC meeting minutes. 30 minutes later, after the Bank of England decision, the Bank of England Governor Bailey will give a speech as well. At the same time, we will have the speech from German Buba President Nagel, and then we got the ECB speech, the Guindos speech from the ECB. 2 o'clock, and the major data release during the US session. Initial jobless claims scheduled for release at 2:30. The market participants expect an increase from 208,000 to 212,000. Bank of England Governor McCallum will give a speech at 5 o'clock, and the FOMC member Daly will give a speech at the 8 o'clock. At the end of the day, 10:30, Fed's balance sheet is scheduled for release. So right now we can go straight on to the technical part of our review. Euro-dollar 4-hour chart is showing us the signs of the weakness, especially after the RSI moves lower towards the level of 45 points, and the price, as you can see, is breaking lower as well after the rejection and the bearish engulfing pattern made at the 4-hour chart below the trend line resistance. So we broke below the demand zone. We made on the low at 1.0736 already. Then we got some period of the consolidation, but the market but the bulls were ejected from the 50 periods moving average 1.0756. So long upper shadows were created, and the price was eventually rejected. So today we are just approaching this yesterday's low 1.0736. Then of course we will test the 1.0730 level, which is 200 periods moving average, and if this test will be unsuccessful, which means that there will be breakout to the downside, we can see extension lower with the potential target straight on at the level of 1.0669, especially after the data scheduled for release for today will be in favor of the US dollar. So the outlook for the euro dollar remains bearish as long as we trade below the 100 periods moving average at 1.0756. Let's switch to the British pound. The British pound is generally bearish, and it's the market participants awaits the data from the Bank of England. Of course, interest rate decision might have a profound impact on the data. Let me just extend this trend line, so I will just zoom out again, so you guys know that this is very. There you go. Right, this is very important trend line. There was a fake breakout above this trend line, but I want just to move it a little bit longer. Make it a little bit longer, move it a little bit to the right. There you go. So we can see something like this is, I think it's quite all right, and we can see straight on that the market is still trading below this trend line. Let me just zoom back in. We are trading, of course, below this trend line. The recent bearish engulfing pattern has the top at 1.2633. Then we got the reversal. Then we have the test and new local low made at 1.2467. So right now we will have to move our technical supports back down to this level. So our zone of the demand is getting a little bit stronger because we got these three levels very close together: 1.2421, 1.2448, and 1.2475. So this is a quite strong demand zone. That level is no longer valid, so we will move it here. Sorry, the delayed, and this one should be, of course, red because it's technical resistance, bullish, bearish engulfing high 1.2633. Market was rejected from the 150 periods moving average. The volatility is now decreasing because the market participants awaits the Bank of England interest rate decision. Momentum is negative, way below the level of 50, the neutral level. So if there is a breakout to the downside, let me just take my arrow. If there's a breakout to the downside here, maybe we will stop for a little bit at 1.2427. If not, then another movement to the downside is being expected. 1.2378. This is the next target. Eventually, the lows of 1.2298 as the swing low is the ultimate target in the coming days, of course, right? But if we zoom out back again, we can see that this movement to the downside is clearly trending, right? So we got the high, then we have the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This high is lower than this one, right? Lower low, lower high. What's the if the history will repeat, then of course the situation with the lows at 1.2298 might be basically crashed, right? So this level might be very easily broken, and the lower levels are being expected right now. What will be the trigger for this movement? Possibly the trigger might be the hike of the interest rate, right? If the Bank of England will hike, then market participants should buy British pound, because in that situation it will be just more expensive in the future, right? So if we take our if this is the scenario, let me just release my arrow. There you go. This is the scenario after which Bank of England unexpectedly hikes the interest rate significantly. So British pound would rally, and all of the British pound related pairs. All right. So please have this in the back of your head, basically, right? This kind of a scenario. So it's a very important decision ahead of us. Stay focused, stay vigilant, please. Let me just take a look at the crude oil, because yesterday we got the data from the crude oil. As you can see, the market is getting away from the extremely oversold conditions, and we used to analyze it on the daily time frame chart. There you go. So what do we have here? We have a breakout below the trend line. We broke below the trend line, but this candle is showing us that the bulls wants to test the breakout from below. So there will be some kind of a test, possibly towards the 100 periods moving average 80.08. So that's the basically technical resistance. There is one more technical resistance that it's worth to mention on the crude oil, which is this one, 80.80. Let me just make it red, so there's no doubts that there is a technical resistance, and we can stay inside of this very narrow zone for quite some time, because the key technical support is still this level, 75.41. So we did this, we broke below the trend line, didn't test the technical support yet, and now we're already doing this, right? So micro movements inside of the range. Nevertheless, we still trade below 50 on 100 periods moving average. We still trade below the trend line as well. The market's conditions, as you can see, are negative. There's a negative sentiment prevails on the markets these days. So bears are in charge of the crude oil. They are still in charge of the crude oil. We should see some tests and then the rejection on the daily time frame. Last but not least, Bitcoin. Daily time frame chart of the Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at the daily this time with plenty of lines. I know, because we used to analyze it on the 4-hour chart. Nevertheless, if we switch to the daily, this is the particular candle that I'm concerned, because it looks like a pin bearish candle-ish, which is negative for bulls, right? We got 3 days up, very nice reversal from the lows at 56,480, and then we got the potential reversal candle, confirmation, extension, and as you can see today, the bulls, let me just move my demand zone, the bulls are trying to break to the upside again, but there is no breakout to the upside if the level of 62,915 is not violated. So this is a daily time frame chart. Let me just switch to the 4-hour time frame chart so you can see it clearly. Let me just zoom in. There you go. That's the current situation. We got our technical resistance. Let me just make it red as usual. There you go. Nevertheless, it is a visible bearish pressure. Bearish engulfing here, rejecting the 65,539 level. Extension below the 50 and 100 periods moving average on the 4-hour chart. Test of the upper demand zone level. Then rejection, as you can see here, and we might see breakout below the demand zone, targeting 56,480 again. Now, this movement here to the upside was apparently on the Bitcoin. Let me just take my price range tool, a few percent at least. Okay, that was 16%. That's very nice movement to the upside, but we need to know whether this movement is the initial trigger of the potential uptrend resumption, or if this is only correction. So we cannot go below the 61% of the let's say of the retracement of the whole movement, okay, to the upside. So this is the high, this is the low, and right now we are trading already at 50% of the Fibonacci retracement. Let me just move my technical support level. There you go. 50% was tested, already $61,038. The 61% is located at roughly at 59,958. So if basically in the middle of the demand zone. So if we want bounce from this level soon, if there is a breakout to the downside, we know that this movement to the upside was just a correction and the downtrend will continue. If there is a reversal from one of the Fibonacci retracement levels, 50 or 61, we know that this movement to the upside is the initial trigger. This is the correction, and we should continue higher. So that's the scenario for the Bitcoin. Let me just give you guys some arrows so we stay on the same page. So now the scenario is we go lower towards the middle of the, let's say, demand zone or to the demand zone, right? And from the demand zone we got either breakout to the downside back onto the $56,000, or we might see a very nice resumption to the upside, impulsive, vertical almost movement to the upside, because that would mean we continue, or the bulls are trying to continue to move up again after the initial trigger was terminated because of the correction, and the correction has been completed somewhere here, possibly, and then we resume the uptrend on the Bitcoin. So that's my analysis for today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow. So take care and bye bye.